very much, little bit. Yeah, I need to take medicines. La sola. La sola. Ni. Ni se abre. La sola. Oh yes, thanks very much. 그리고 다시 결과가 차선 기후에 좀 말했다.
내가 요거든 mambo 요. 이는 다른 같은 강가 그래서 요 말과 장면도 다때서 짱소 냠도 지슈나 때치나 냠도 렌자베기 합시지 요래 됐다고로 되게 저바 가시 됐어 저바 됐어 민다와 요리는 건수 강가 따고 걸어 요래 됐어 디디디런 라 냠도치 짱소나 냠도치 슈나 된치는 저바데 강가 냠도 렌치기 저바 가시 샷산다 가봐
Ah doch, ja. Warte. Bitte. Danke.
Da dünda die konso samlo zovo de rimchi kansuba nashin da tempa nigi ko de hinsare ro tempa nigi ko da tempa da de nangla de lelavo chiksena da konso kashi samgedu da bena rimchi di dakzengi wangde sind dann so charum trabotik chagne chuti tikpare 이나 가서 샘친 레디다 샘민 드라마지 요다 내가 강가라 샘치 요바 그거 데이단 달바 양 샘친 치 히찬에 양 제바치 랑고그레 코르바낭라 조고나로 데세 세치 제말라 포켄 디 카르레 샘 디파토그레 박착 디파토그레 카르고레 그런 강석이 다 용서대 조금 말해 그래 풍부도 샤츠로 이나 카레 바 포겐 제바 직니 샴발라 도긴 디 카르 빨리 디 들어봐 여러바디 들어봐디니 그래 되네 양 당아서 잠시니 있네 레좀 트레라 페미세바 딱지 당고기도 좀 트레라 따고 그래 똑바 템포 렙산에 되네 방랑 메바 인세 방랑 예네세바 세르와 이낭 디 갑수 직진 송경기 동반이 똑나다 통이 준제수 당과 양 건조 다 라마 쳔보 mambo 감보파 등 되니 조보지 바모토바르서 디스 mambo 다 카세 다 똑바디 시브로 드로나 줌테 디 드라로 똑그레 마도 줌테 메바데 딘나 찬 레비미두 그러 다 템바니기 거와 양 셴바츠 삼게당게도 치당 가서 칸 고금인도 똑바 똑칸 고금인도 다 마토가 에 mambo 제고르 뜻이 디 람카 데니 춘보 데 칸다소도 템디니 중주 데 한드스 하고 또 그래. 동바 똑나라. 근데 방라메바다 강체 배설지 강체 고금인도. 그래서 내저 대랑 그랬다. 일단 마톡 뒤에 가서 다 드라마다 배설인데 람카든데 mambo 토고기도. 디 고아데 차는 냠도 랩칼레 카보레. 다 강가 대니기 걸어. 샘단 대니기 걸어요. 그래. 그래. 다 되네. 문은 또 돈이 돈나 방랑매 얘네 매세냐. 이나 라마카시 말에 때 동반이 되다 준대 싫어 똑바로 마도. 지금 좀 경기다 동이 준대서 당와. 인터넷 찍하시지 여러 양 때는 밀어레바 기타 다와디 남카타 도나양 인디 다 출바디 삼바타고 싶어.
Dina.
그래 디 제스 렌잡나 돼요. 단단 내기 야쇼가 돼요. 그리고 디 말. 디
맞다 치도. 저도 저도. 다 그래서
that's matter. The young 저것이 야쇼나. 근데 치당 디
다
춘이
당봉에 레레레레 잡고.
맞디 레디딘 얌토치 렌 잡토나.
담보 지로도.
맞디 디 저바디 강가 야쇼는 된 직시나 저바 카시 된 얌토 렌 치기 된 콘셉트 셈투 버로.
네네.
때문에 양당 양도 찍받아 자로.
이스야 야. 야. 다 남는 쪽으로 봐.
양 찍디 야쇼나로.
야.
는 찍디 된 콘솔 다 춘이기 왕주세나 된 강가 된 동나 메바된 타르송스 된 나츠 삼친 춘이 마토페 왕주페 코로나라 참 칼레요르 다데 저포 춘이 데 강가 춘이랑 당 인사다 똑똑한 기 왕주세나 데 코로데 메 강가 춘이랑 당 인사나 다 삼친 마토페 삼친라 데 적보 하고와라 다디 똑바디 춘이기 똑바디 다 떨어지 밤 더버티 자이나 디게 말에 스탠다고 미즈바 카인서 당가서 칼리 잡든다 배서 mambo 체이스는 다디 민고와 다 적보 잡다 강가 춘이랑 당이 있네 되나 적보 하고에 탑시되대 요 말에 스타 캐치기 torso 잡으러 라스라스 다 발제 되는 데 건조 람간이 되는 제당 도지 택바 되는 적신 삭신 대주 강가 람가 적포도 세치 루지라 자부터 되는 람가 인세 나조 단 택진도나 다 칼바담이 som되는 속사고로 나 가디나 양 이나 나조티 다 거나 도지 대바 거나 데 제나 디기멘도 데 거나 좀나 디기멘도 다 잘지 락len 다소 바삼바 닌제데 데야 도이 택바된 검고기 두세 다티 칸다요르다 네네 데 도지 택바데 람 적포데 이나 데 거나치 좀나 디기 말베스 데 콜람 다 렘버치 토나 캠페 인세네티 된다 강가 덴바니기 콜데 저바데 요르 틱틱나 렌 탑케버 시그네 렌 치기
어제 저 레레레 란데 가
라스
제 톨 대까마서
그러면지 대니기 콜라디 다 칸다서 송고도
야
우마디 된고로 우마 나절라 우마 따와디 당근 좀더 붙이지 나오나
리 제탄티나 dorji tikpe ken lamte hint tenen jokbo rwa nyurbo ane tenris te ngatso telen dirhi jabdu ta yang dorji tikpe lam chikbo ro khana tene yang je dolok dar paror chimba da semi khada tene mangbo yekdwa ane temi na chogrwas terwa ta dorji tikpe lam chikbo ro khana chogres teme chok kham ndo sladwa tere te jirtang china 나초 간자 그체 파리오리스트 그러봐 간자 안보 양라비나 도르지 특별 찍고 냐만마 틱 초그레스 에 페나가 로시나 당보 라미케 신네 고지 베캅스 센치 신네 세미 신네 대양한테 비 롱레 때는 고미야 신다 도라 때는 힘믹 mikten 힘믹다 디빌 때는 요가 곰탄라면 담보 이송스 이나테네 테 라미케 탄다 고지 응두 소수케 안보칸 라비나 텔냐스 롱센 라망보 쳇텐 셔조리 샤스 티 람차탄 로고치스 카야멘도스 That the so come to Ambol do no Rogoyas Ridoris, Riva. Berne Jerbo and Rambode, Sanjike, Gundula Chu Yung Baris. And be Jerbo and Rambodic Candistuns and Sanjila, Nga, and be Numu Mapambik Chuji, Terochis, Labaris, Tomata Sanjik, oh, Kung Kam Ambo hint Yara in Bat Hakon, one Gorharis. Then one Gorbata, one don't you legene, one core, one Gormata, one don't you legene, Tomata, Topango to Chorseris, Doctor Tunya and Rambodi, steady. Topata Trova Tunya Johnson Joris. The Davene Ambo hint Yaravis, the Davena Nak Lampian Bunjon and degrees. The money bat and the Simtianam, the Rimjitin, Nasukali, she would jam the tumble lamp home Mali, and draw the lamp command out Mato, and the direct cup to the bay. Not Yaman Jog on a disc come yoris. Oh, thunder to turn lamp.
So so we have had a lot of questions, and so because Rinpoche asked us to speak about the topic this morning, so that's why the questions were selected according to this request. So the translator tried to maybe summarize those questions so that they can be answered maybe in one answer. And so, like, the question basically is that now, like how is it not possible that we only follow the path of the Vajrayana so that we attain enlightenment in just a single lifetime? Because in the Mahayana path, for example, it is said that we have to also practice other practices like the 37 practices and bodhicitta, which is a longer path. So how can we like reconcile those two paths when one path is really quick and one path is really long? And so no, his answer was that it really depends on one's mental capacity. If one's mental capacity is high, one's faculties are sharp, then it would be fine to only follow the path of the Vajrayana. So, for example, Khenpo said, I myself and have received instructions from my guru on meditation. I first received instructions on shamatha, calm abiding, and I was introduced to various different methods here. For example, the shamatha with characteristics and without characteristics, and based on observing the winds, the breath, or through using a focal object like an object like a piece of wood or a rock and so on. So the guru then said that you have to practice according to your own mental capacity. And because we are all different, that is why many different methods are given. But that doesn't mean that you have to practice all of these methods. You can choose whichever of these methods is suitable for you. So even though you are taught many methods, you don't have to practice them all. For example, there was in the past the king Indra Bodhi, and he came to the Buddha to request Dharma teachings, and he said that please give me a method to abandon my afflictive emotions. And instantly the Buddha knew that he really possesses high mental faculties, capacity. So he instantly gave him empowerment, and it is said that that at that time instantly the meaning of the empowerment instantly arose in his mind, which means he gained realization right there and then. And it is said that Indra Bodhi was the one whose realization and liberation happened simultaneously at that very time. So that is someone of highest mental capacity. And for somebody like that, it would be fine to just only practice the tantric path. But then in general, if that is not the case, then the rest of us have to practice gradually, and we have to go through certain steps. So for the most part, for the majority, then it would be difficult to just directly only practice the tantric path and then neglect everything else. So that probably would also not work.
Tirtang Tambo Narangul Shina Lamike Enepe Nguti Becaps Tambo Pede Tate Naso Namtok Khan Sharnayang Ti Namtok Ngol Tane Tambo Namtok Karicheson Wart Kara Negda Tama Karan Rogda Tindrike Tang Enepe Tansenche Hinel Tene Yar Gom Goyaje Tuni Tun Anbe Chuti Jake Nala Takar Kar Lamni Ten Sons Lamni. And the local Hijeling Namtok Khan Shan the Tingola, Tavi Kuchis. Yina Yang Ara Ambo Yara Meta, Inje Many Young Chart and the Hinea go to the Roga Chonsons. The social ralliers, so social. So soon come to Ambola and go to Yamleas readeris. Not so soon come to Ambo Yara Mena, then Dinan Chun and Rogmaris. Tambo lip in the Tavan Tombonzigo, the Tiscalioris, Nedena. Yang Chor, Hinel Man, Drone, and the Hinel Yang go to the Gomgoya Chasons.
So, for example, personally, when I was first given instruction on that by my guru, I was first instructed to observe the nature of whatever thought arises. And so that is, look at where does that thought come from, where does it arise from, and then when it's here, where is it, and then where does it go? And so based on that, then he also taught me the shamatha, calm abiding with characteristics. And actually, what he really showed me here is in one session, I was introduced to 2 paths. And I practiced that, but then sometime later, a few years later, actually, then thoughts kind of started to arise again, and after some time it turned out that I had to start over again. So basically I had to start with shamatha, calm abiding, all over again, in the proper way, in stages. So basically it really depends on oneself, but if one doesn't have the highest, sharpest mental capacity, then it's very difficult to enter the path directly of the highest view.
And the Jirtantina, Chujin Jikten Som Jungombuke, Gunzop Tondam Nipo, Kansam Kandis or Sena. Natsu Tanda Nang Devi Kingupo, Nansustua, Nansu, Tanda Tondele, Rava Chan Kantia, Nansustua, Loya Part Draw Tan and Asun Tondele, Nansun Tamsi, Gunzop Dembas Shashuris, Gunzop Demba. Did Nansu Tela Tahi Kine, Nansu Koranla, Rancha Mato, Zograva. Nansu Koran Mata Hiking, Nansu Koran Rangite, Tony Jungo Chagatala, Tontambi Dembas Lafuris. Yenji Trechi Chogris, Nansu Taki Maya, Nangasu Nan Delik Nawante, Kunzo, Senor Chobaris. Nansu Takin, Namik Rangi, and the Chutambi Ngo Madropa, Tony Dempabatel, Tontambi Dembas Lafuris.
And so the questions really concern, for the most part, the difference between the relative and the ultimate truth. And so how Thigten Sumgön, for instance, had discerned between it is now there's a difference between the appearing and the way things really are. So the appearing things is the way they appear to us. For example, you have a mountain, you have trees, and the world around you, the things that we can see, all of that we can say is the relative level, the relative truth. But then when you look into what appears, the way things appear, then you will find that their nature is actually empty of self-nature. And that's then the ultimate truth. If you do not look into the nature of the way things appear, then you can call them the relative truth. So it depends on how we look at those things. Do we take them the way they appear, or do we actually look at their essence? Do we analyze them?
Tela tene, ane ngaso nangsun de la kasi nzimba hyo. Nangsun de la kasi ngaso par demba song na yang, tisi ke ngaso kangin tegoris, rwa? Kangin tegoris. Ti kangin ti siyak chi to chi gorse na, ane nangsun de, ane karse na ngaso che nangsun di ke nzimba am, nangsun di ke, ane ngaso che ti zore. Tabe nangsun di hyok chenpo ke nzimba am, di ke hienba de joyak chi to, ane ngaso ta paror chimba chou hin serwanda wotang duwe ngopo hi serwanda changchop chi chu som chi tsadun serma ta demba hi seriate tene sungya mangbo si yoris tanda kong hyuda wa ane sungya mangbo si yoris te tam chi tene be ngaso nangsu kin zimba nangsu ki hienba de doyak chi ne chu yang tang ba chi doyak chi song yoris sangjik.
And so now, for as long as we are clinging to the reality, the true existence of those things that appear, the way they appear, we will encounter difficulties and suffering. So in order to dispel this attachment, this fixation, now we need to cut through this very strong attachment to the way things appear to us. And so to cut through that, there are so many different practices, like the 6 paramitas or the 4 ways of gathering disciples, or 37 factors conducive to awakening, or the 4 noble truths, and so forth. So there's all of these different methods basically are for the sake of cutting through the attachment to the way things appear to us.
Tene chujin jikten zum gongke dan song do srwa. Chupung jet sangje drupa jek denu jude lam je rumba yin song dos. Chuji pungbu jet hiton sangje song hyakbate kanza jeke ene rikpa tongsan gakpa mi bate toya akchi song hyakleris. Trenga su zokchen la kan rikpa tongsan gakpa mi ba song tiwa. Dorna sangje chuji pungbu jet hiton song hyakbate kanza jeke ju la nyom ba pa mele so ya tang rikpa tongsan gakpa mi ba tsor toya akchi song hyaris. Denu jude lam je rumba yin zedu ene be denu hyetan. Jude karse jude hyetan denu som la sokpa chata sanje ke rikpa tongsan gakpa mi ba te toya tang rang ke ju la ene chakdang mo som ke nyomot ma me ak chi sung res labres zo gopa teres mangbo man mera ke ya ta teres gopa.
The Jigten Sumgön had said that the 84,000 Dharma teachings given by the Buddha are only for the sake of realizing, attaining the state of Buddhahood. So there is the path of the sutra, or the scripture collections, and then the classes of Tantra, the various levels of the path. So the 84,000 heaps of Dharma teachings taught by the Buddha are only for the sake of realizing the nature of one's own mind. That is a clear and empty, unobstructed awareness, as we also learned today in the Dzogchen teachings. So it is just for the sake of realizing only that. And to realize that, we need to eliminate our afflictive emotions. So all the teachings are for the sake of realizing the nature of mind and to eliminate the afflictive emotions. So we have the 3 scripture collections and the 4 classes of Tantra, and all of that are for the sake of just that, realizing the clear and empty.
근데 돈이 돈나 레전드 요르베 서베 레전드 요르베 서베 테레 오 테레 제 돈이 돈나 서와 돈이 돈나 렌제 차지 차바 또트기요리스 좀세 강에서나 안는 가서 돈이 똑바탕 닝게 제반에 두냐스 요초 그리스 두냐 안에 돈이 똑바 강사 체게 렌제 밀레 짠 차글 말이스 메차고 좀세 저서나 돈이 준제스 당와서나 돈이 중고라 준제 확체 힌트 히아옹바스 요초요리스 준제 힌트 히보 차히차바 베나 히람닝분의 가능성으로서나 속 동바고 동바니스 속소 샤효리스 속 동바고 슬랍효리스 당보 동바니스 속소 샤효리스 될 때는 돈이 윤지 그랑소 당고요리스 트레
So then the question also so then people also have asked about, what about karma, cause and effect when you realize emptiness. So when you realize emptiness, is there still karma? So Khenpo is saying that when you realize emptiness, actually, then you realize the very subtle workings of karma. And in fact, it is said that karma is actually like because there's emptiness, there is karma. Karma is like a manifestation of emptiness. And now when one realizes emptiness, then at the same time, as one realizes emptiness, also great compassion arises. And then regarding karma, when emptiness is not realized, then one will not realize the fine workings of karma. So in the Heart Sutra, it is said that form is emptiness and emptiness is form. And regarding form is emptiness, that is the appearance of karma, the working of karma, cause and effect, is like a natural manifestation of emptiness. So when one realizes that, then actually when one realizes emptiness, one will see the most subtlest working of karma, cause and effect.
제탕가서 닝지 좀 줘야 어리스러와 안에 당부터 심천을 매비 닝지스 안에 비 심천께 가서 동안을 매네 안에 랑크 줄을 무수 비츠르바 디 동안 제 메레 차소나 삼바스 샘을츠르바 제주리스 티맹라 심천을 매비 닝지스 랍고리스러와 심천 동안 매비 닝지 안에 비 닝지 제기스 간데 제기스나 랑추 냠레 지비 좀센라 때네 ताजे खांसा खशिला nga mi bal nga song da mi bal da song kale mi ba kale sting du shata de den was ana khorang la nga mi bal nga song ma tha pa la tak pa song mde ba la den ba song shata nyeng ji samni jumsa ji yoris te chula mig bi nying ji jokris chula mig bi nying ji jumsa te la ten ne tong ni tok pa tha nying ji ba thunya bris lab ga tha soris.
So there's different kinds of compassion, and one kind is called the compassion that has sentient beings as its object, that observes sentient beings, and so that is when you see suffering, someone who suffers, then an unbearable feeling arises, and a wish for them to be free from suffering arises. So that's one kind. And another kind is called the compassion that has the Dharma as its object. And that is through your own practice of Dharma, you see that there are other beings who are clinging to a self, and a self does not exist. Or they are falsely clinging to this idea of an I. Or they are creating suffering when there actually is no problem. Or they are holding on to impermanence when things, permanence when things are actually impermanent. So they are perceiving things in the wrong way, and so you feel compassion for that. And that is called the compassion that has the Dharma as its object. And through that kind of compassion, it is said that the realization of emptiness and the arising of compassion happen simultaneously.
Natsu Jirtang China, and the Tawa Yibi Kapsina, Tawa Yibi Kapsrava, and the Tawa Langdon mi Bas Laftova, and the Be Giva Lanja, Dikpa Turja Kaya Yomaris, the Tawing was Ketchy Yeguris. Sherab Ningbook Nala Tavi Kaps Ketchy Yibi Kapsa, Soak me, Dra me, Trim me, Row me, Rijamis, Yoris, Rava, just on me, Mato, you, Yomaris, the Tawa Yibi Kapsris, Rava. Hina Tajabla Joba Horne. Tak haya yosa maris and the tenepe joba le jundi chesuchina tavan and dikumaris. Gurumbachen Kandizon and a tavan namkajam tojam, le jundi wachel hebgoris, sunkuris. And the betaja of the joba horsona, nakpo cantam dugitawas, tachalin cauris, taking the subgoris, Nasurava. Tava ye pick up the joba ye become the kayagoris.
So now when we speak in the context of the view, then the ultimate view is that there is nothing to adopt and nothing to reject. So there is no virtue to adopt and no non-virtue to reject. And also, for example, in the Heart Sutra, when it speaks about the view, it says there is no form, no sound, no smell, no touch, and so on. So it talks in this Heart Sutra really only in a negating way, in terms of non-existence. There is nothing that is affirmed in this text. And so this is how it is explained when explaining the view. But then what can happen is that we lose the view in our conduct. And so that means that in our conduct then we think nothing exists, there's no karma and so on. And so for that, Guru Rinpoche had said that while your view should be as high as the sky, your conduct, your actions should be as fine as flower. So we must not lose ourselves in our conduct, because when that happens, then there's a danger that we will actually adopt corrupt, Mara-influenced kind of views. And so we have to be very careful about and really discern between, are we speaking in the context of the actual ultimate view or now the conduct.
야, 됐네. 좋아. 됐네. 재밌죠. 다 하나면 될것 같아.
샘 소소 유바다 처럼 돼서 소소 유바이나 양면은 건조 문이스나 샘 찍마도 메스나다 디칸도요
간라브레 심치
샘친 미소 강사 세르와 소소 지부세 소소 지부데 츠다 샘 소소 다 된담 지방도 세나 샘 소소 유르베 된담 지방도 세나 강가 샘 찍거나 유르베
심치 담지 샘 찍르베 슬라브레
그래 데 들바데레 근섭도 가서 샘 소소 남바디다 파샤로 된담도 왕도 세나 나서 샘 찍감 소소 유 들바데레
지 안베 찌탕지나 근섭 왕트지나 다 심치 소소소소 레낭 자면다 소소소소 요르바 테조르바 그란소 소소소 요르바 통당고도 지나 샘 찍르베 스테르베 테레 Yeah, that's good. Re ngats kunzo ke lenang ka want china nyarwa yeda tunru anabe ndrowa re chosana nang su ka njogjido was yoris nang su ka ton dambe ngal want china rwa ngats sem je ni som chis ke che yo maris maksa tondang ngol china ane simchen tamji hidder ke ning bo kol yina hetje rari doris anabe turi china da turi china hetje jagoris Anyami takolar dik song hyoris, rwa. And the Hikanli choose the Hitombanil choose love hyoris. Turkit and the Hikan yogurt, Tonton down old Tinajeta, Jake needs some stitches, Jan Zias, your maristeta. Tonton Batroba Tamti Chardevala, not so same Jagris or Niri, some resisted Jetan Ketcha your maris. Ina Karte Ketchas and Yogona, and then couldn't you pick Turkit only Jerry Doris? Hit their hitting bongo Jerry Doris.
So the question is about there's always this example about the ice blocks and how we freeze into ice blocks, and then that's how we appear as separate sentient beings. So the question is it the case that we all they're connected to this one mind, this one consciousness, or do we have separate minds? So Asoran Kempo is saying that so from the relative perspective, now when we perceive various the karmic ripening of each and every individual sentient being, then we have the hell realms and the hungry spirit realms and the animal realms. We have the 6 realms of samsara and the various appearances. But on the ultimate level, we say that the basis of the mind is a single one. So on that level, there's actually no concept of 1, 2, or 3 minds and so on, because we have said that all beings have the same basis of mind, which is Buddha nature. And so from this basis, then beings from there, then the beings have become confused. And so Gambopa had also explained this basis from which it all arises, and it is empty. And so since it is that, then we cannot really speak of it in terms of 1, 2, or 3. So because that nature is without elaboration, and therefore we cannot actually enumerate it. But then if we were to try to explain it, then this basis of samsara and nirvana, from which everything arises, is Buddha nature, and its nature is emptiness.
나츠니까 라마른 부친기 군도 성부 몰람리 숭도와 셰제 람니 드브 니 샤효리스 렉탕 마르 큐투테 샤리스 셰제 쿤디니 셰제 샤리스 투르제 이나양 람가니 차스리스 코르와탕 양데스 니 차스리스 데 람가니 칸데 차스리스나 렉탕 마르 큐투테 샤랑오 셰마힐 샤효리스 Gambo back in Turkey cars, he don't need two slap, your chicken, Turkey is.
Also this morning, Geshe Rinpoche, he also mentioned the Samantabhadra prayer, and in there it says, there is a single ground, yet two paths and two fruitions. And it is like a question of knowing or not knowing, of being aware of it or not aware of it. And so that single basis here is the single basis from which all of samsara and nirvana arises. That is a single basis. But then there's two paths. One leads to samsara, one to nirvana. And how have two paths been created? It is due to either recognizing or not recognizing one's own true nature. And so that's similar to Gambopa's explanation of the empty basis, the empty ground from which everything arises.
Think Turkita Turgira, to get a yim, this is your tongue as a Turkita Turgini, to get a young do. Turk, Torbi, Tursik Hetan, Tursik here. Tambo, Kurban, Tursa. Two, Tusa, Turkita, Turgi. Two. Tambo, Turgi. Two zero, that's some Kurban, Tursa. Turkita, Turkis, Ninjo, Turvik Hetan, Turvik here. Karata channel to Rua, the sound. Your tongue as on Corvali man torn durva. Two manung bala torn ba. Yegurin, two manung la, two manung, torn ba. Good sambos, lovely. Chechu talk and go sanjeris, yativa. Two young la tor manung bate, curse, two young la tor manung bateri, comes on some cherva, Tanda Wardian Corva Corsi, Tadon Tormason. Rua? Two young la. Torn young bas and jokjori, the Tandanga Susta, Jitan Lam Netan, Sanji Sombataso, two young newry, Torian newry. So, oh, this would two young newry, Torian newry. Then the Jitu Mala Repatabsina, two young newry, Torian newry. Codemo, Rua. Gunda Sambote, two Manung, Torn young slapgori. Carsena, he can now at the Hang Duli, here Rango Tune. The Matat. And the Chichu told you going to Sanjeris, then Jokerita. The chin and Jojoris, that hit Susan Jojo Teres.
So there's actually two kinds of grounds. There is the ground of confusion and the ground of liberation. And so there's three kinds of there's three cases. One is where one has never been confused, but one has been liberated. And that is like Samantabhadra with the 6 qualities that we mentioned. And then secondly, there is those who have who have been confused but never been liberated. And these are all of us, sentient beings in the 3 realms of samsara. So since beginningless time, we are in samsara and we are still not liberated. And then the third kind is the one that has been confused but also has been liberated. And that is one who has been confused, but they practiced the path and attained the Buddhahood. For example, someone like Milarepa, he was first a sentient being confused, but then he attained liberation. But Samantabhadra, for example, was never confused, but still there is liberation. And how there is liberation is that the natural light of the basis of the ground is itself the liberation, complete with the 6 characteristics of Samantabhadra. So it is like an instant liberation.
봉타 음미키 콜라 게제지 이 고리슬랍스마 다치수 신도도와 이나양 저탄테나 음미키 게제든 아수 신도 자침버리도리스 이나양의 시음마 라음마 두음마 저스티즘포테 모투 도르드바스티고스.
And so now, since the Rinpoche asked us to speak about the Madhyamaka, the middle way, so we will continue with that now because of the time. And so, of course, in general, there is so much to be said about that. But in brief, we can be introduced to Madhyamaka in terms of the middle way of the ground, the middle way of the path, and the middle way of the result.
La umate kan jogris na tsoni sungjuk jogris du umate kan jogris de kuni sungjuk ten ngunzi gris umangunzi tu hilam dibi umangun sungderwa.
And so to summarize that, the Madhyamaka middle way of the basis of the ground is the union of the twofold truth. The middle way of the path is the union of the two accumulations, and the middle way of the fruition, the result, is the union of two kayas.
Tam du ma kuni sungjuk. Se ti zeigt dinge zeigt die Buch sind richtig ja josrwa. Se du jirtan ta kant malong batala slab gyorisrwa. Ta kant malong cho kanslong masong batala slab gris check korang ngokazam no konna ta wa himju zengdu ta kan la long masong batala lab gris.
So first, just to explain this word, Madhyamaka, or middle way itself, so Uma in Tibetan, what it means is that you going the middle way means that you are not falling into an extreme. So you're not taking sides, you're going in the middle.
Ta kan sirsanna yuba ngupu ta mi ba ngumi ta ni ka ta ni me ta san tan jog joris tin ta kaya manong ba mas nyo chogris ta tin ta kaya malona kan sanna troba tamji ta charwa mas troda san jintang tamji chargo kuris yuba song nan jigmendo mi ba song nan jigmendo ni ka song nan jigmendo ni me song nan jigmendo tin ta zimba tamji char sona troba tamji charwas mas nyo chokodos.
And so what do we mean with limitations or extremes, or not falling into extremes? There is, first of all, the extreme of affirming an existence, and secondly, the extreme of denying or saying there is non-existence, or thirdly, saying that it is both existing and non-existing, or saying it is neither existing nor non-existing. So one doesn't fall into either of those any of these four extremes. So if that is the case, then we speak about the middle way. And the middle way is therefore free from elaborations, free from all grasping, from all conceptual elaborations. So once you think it exists, then you are already wrong. If you think something doesn't exist, you're also wrong. And if you think that it's both, then existing and non-existing, also wrong. And if you think it's neither, it is wrong.
탐지 옛날에는 배 덴바르 마드와파 르파 망보 헤기는 돈이 그때는 파바테 오마스 좋고도 스르와 돈이 레템 파바테 오마스 좋고도 조 오마테 따바레 스르와 조 테네 림보체 키송야 착첸당 족첸테 따바텔라 맹아지고는 냠슬린 수진바 예거리스 음미값스 맹아가 록다르 냠슬린 수연 마트는 추탐지 돈이 땡 파발라트는 음마미는 타벼 마리스 타트리 당보마 가서 롭종지응도 음마리 야 돈이 롭종지네 되는 맹아 따르 냠슬린 수텔라 착첸타 족첸 냠랑도 되는 데워요리스 뭐팜을 보지 근데 송도와 까다 따바 똑발라 탄조르다샤 추바고스 안나 까다 테네 예능 오트는 족파침보 그따와 안나 까다 뜻다비 까다 뜻다와 야부스 랑고 추고나 오만 탄조르 야부스 장그도스 까다 따바 똑발라 탄조르다샤 추바고스 라슈리스
So no, there's the phenomena of samsara and nirvana that, according to the middle way, lack any inherent existence. So that is what the middle way basically establishes, affirms, is that the empty nature of all phenomena. So the view, a view is the middle way, the Madhyamaka. And so also when we receive those instructions like from Rinpoche on Mahamudra and Dzogchen, pith instructions, practical, essential instructions for our practice, then actually really it is preceded by an understanding of the Madhyamaka. So in the Madhyamaka middle way, we are not receiving those practical instructions, but here we first are introduced to the empty nature of phenomena. That actually need to be understood well first. And when we first understand that well, clearly, then later when we receive the pith instructions of Dzogchen and Mahamudra, it will be easier for us to understand them. For example, Mipam Rinpoche had said that now to realize the view, we actually, the view of Mahamudra or Dzogchen, we need the Madhyamaka, which is called the Madhyamaka Prasangika, which is basically the highest view of the middle way. And it says, he said that in order to realize the primordial purity, the view of Dzogchen, in order to actually recognize that view, we really need to train in the middle way, in the Madhyamaka.
공타 드네 투투신도 녜키양 테라 세르케 드네 노치라 상케 템보 야도스요라 나서 세르케 에네베 누야본들라 드네 상클레보 마보 야피티스 공타르와 에네 초란소 오네 베 소납 쳔보 쇼리 쳔그도스게 오미 초란소 소납데 카디사나 쳔게 잠도 당기우스 and the bed Lama Sanji Moondraw, Moning at Zumangasu Joe, Tamki La Gora Jactina, the Lama Garchanto, which on to Radio Maris. And the Chujin Jictazum Song, Conky Cassi, Choose on my now. Nyamyon me big Chuji miss. Subget sauce yiban, Yamsman, Jagam me, soon. Reva? Samuk talk good, somewhat talk to the ta, Samuk Chu Conk Kang, Mambo Yinaya, Tamki Konank and Yamla Majiba Jagam miss. Tendra Lama Rinpoche Kunki can't zone a young Yamla Maji delichu your maris, Yagoden, and Yams Manuel. On the Chane Gatsu Chonazo, Missy Son of Timboris. Then the Lama to Chonazo and Chayakale Kapuris. Jumset Telatane, Lamik Yamyon Tolang, San Clembo Mambo Japan, and Dick Maris, Contas.
The time has come, so we have to stop here now. But also, sort of, I have to apologize. What I have been doing is kind of like taking a really precious golden like pot and putting like plating it with copper, like making it like kind of destroying its value. So what I'm trying to say with that is that you all really have a lot of merit because you have met with someone like Arjun Rinpoche, who really is like meeting the actual Buddha himself, and it's really true. If you would really travel around the whole world, you would not find anyone like him. And it is just like Chigden Somgön, actually. Chigden Somgön had said, any Dharma that I'm sharing with you is something that I have myself personally experienced through practice. So there is nothing that I am telling you that I haven't personally experienced. And that's just like with Rinpoche. Whatever he tells us, all the teachings he gives us is something that he himself has experienced. There is nothing that he tells us that he didn't practice himself. So really, we have a lot of merit, and it's very hard to meet someone like Rinpoche. So therefore, I would ask for your forgiveness again, because I really like putting copper up on Rinpoche's beautiful golden pot.
Lama jen san yunguyus. Natsu pula do donken nima takpa nguguyu da lama chen. And be chunan je aragmados. Jonatsu kadu in a he numan dendichin, jegrak and je aragdwas. When the son of Timburi chengus.
And actually, also that's why I came here. The reason why I'm here all the way from Tibet is to meet with Lama, with Rinpoche. That's why I came all the way. And actually, all the people in Tibet, each and every day, actually, they cry because they miss Rinpoche. They cannot meet him. They can never see him. And actually, you can see him all the time. You can even have a private audience with him. So I really believe that you have a really great deal of merit.
Young Asuso now Timbo and Sari, some did in the Jigmaris, Jonathan Yamla Yakuchi. So Yamla Yakuchi, Lami Song Hilitesu, College of Yamla Yakuchita, send the Chininka, and the bed then the Devil Lamkan Royal race.
However, we shouldn't just think that we shouldn't feel like pleased about that and feel like, oh, I'm so lucky, and just sort of sit here and just feel very lucky. But actually, what's important is to actually put into practice everything that you have learned from Rinpoche. It's important to take those words and really work hard to practice them. And if you do that, then surely you will have a path of happiness, from happiness to happiness in this and all future lives. Now the instructions that we have received from the Guru Noven Rinpoche is just like nectar that we receive in the palms of our hands. But we have to be careful that it doesn't again like spill from our hand, that it doesn't escape from our hands. It's very easy for it to be lost. So be very careful that you're able to retain those teachings, that you remember them, and that you put them all into practice.
Thank you. Tutu simple. Yeah.